What's this? Another amazing episode of Bullet Points. We're going to let you intro the show, Michael Loftus from New York, America.
Thank you, Judd Dunning from Los Angeles, America, almost Chinese communist California. We got a great show. We got four big topics. We got a wild card. I think you're going to like the wild card, ladies and gentlemen. This is a good one. So let's kick it off. Judd, what's bullet point number one?
Hello. Bullet point number one is acquittal. That's it.
A big one. I'm not
going to say anything else.
That's a big one. Bullet point number two.
Bullet point number two, the coronavirus is very bad, making me very crazy and very dangerous.
It's making you kind of racist, too.
Bullet point number about that. Chinese people are like, hey, we're Americans. You know, I mean, everybody does it. Okay, moving on.
Number three.
Brexit, baby. After years of foreplay and the loss of multiple PMs, Britain finally makes the break from 40 years with the EU.
I was wondering when you're going to whip out one of those really long ones. Bullet point number four.
Boom! Democratic Caucus, Clowntown, Ohio, New Hampshire coming down the line.
Woohoo! And then we'll have a wild card. You know what I would do right now? I would show like a title package.
Oh, I love that. There's a lot of you, and we'll be right back.
That seemed like a decent break. We look fantastic in that, by the way. That's
yeah, you were definitely a little younger in that one clip on where the History Channel. Got a little dark brown hair. You stylish devil, working the screen.
I like how you turn it into a slam by calling me old, but that's fine.
I was just saying. I'm not gonna. You're long.
How else can you take that? How else can you? Boy, you look younger. You look younger in that one shot.
Well, look, I'll confess that I just dyed my hair then, all right? How's that? Does that make you feel better?
No, it doesn't. All right, bullet point number one. How's this going to work? How much time do we get?
2 minutes on the clock.
2 minutes on the clock. What's bullet point number one? Acquittal?
All right, bullet point number one. The American acquittal countdown is now over with a little Trump coitus interruptus. It was a fantastic transition our country that we've been tracking for months. We'll open up with you, Michael.
I love it. I really love it. It's once again, everyone knows there was no case there. There was no problem. Dershowitz made a great point. Sekulow was great. Pat Cipollone was wonderful. And here's the wonderful thing. The Democrats think that they're going to hurt Trump's feelings by you're going to have an asterisk by your name. That's forever, an asterisk. And I'm like, yeah. Now, in the future, when kids are going down the list of presidents, they're going to go, ooh, what's this guy Donald Trump? He must have been special. And he was. He's going to stand out from the pack. I love it.
Yeah, no, I love it beside you. The asterisk is definitely my favorite moment was this line from Schiff. Trump could offer Alaska to the Russians in exchange for support in the next election, or decide to move Mar-a-Lago permanently and let Jared Kushner run the country, delegating to him the decision of whether or not to go to war. I mean, when Schiff dropped that one, the room was like, okay, I think we're losing the game here. I mean, it continued to devolve and devolve. And all of Trump's power council were just amazing. I think Sekulow did a great. It was interesting to watch them because they all had such a different style. But you remember the playbook at the beginning was, is he going to take on the offense? Because, there's a gray area inherently in foreign policy. They even said it. You pressure people when you pull things and move things back. So, Trump's definitely the high line concept guy. And he stayed with the fact that this was not an impeachable defense. And Congress, I love Dershowitz. And Dershowitz and who's the other word? Sekulow's point is like, are you going to make this the precedent of America that the Senate is going to be where trials are held and reverse our entire constitutional process? I think at that moment, I think America jumped on board. I loved it.
There's two people who were really happy about the acquittal: Donald Trump and Hunter Biden. He doesn't have to testify.
Right. So
all right. Bullet point number two.
Bullet point number 2. All right, we're moving on to the coronavirus. Michael Loftus is bullet point number 2. This is an interesting respiratory infection, similar to like SARS, a lot of the different global pandemics that we've considered. World Health Organization has actually stepped in, put it on the hot list. We're seeing containment. It's really interesting. You know what the most, can I jump in?
Sure, please.
Start the clock.
Oh,
The
I
most
thought you were already
interesting,
going.
there we go. The most interesting element about the coronavirus is, you know what the greatest defense is? Not the little mask. I can't do that anymore because you think that it's not racist. I just like Chinese people. Thank you very much. But is washing your hands. So I just want to put it out there, all our rational viewers, that apparently the little masks make it worse. They're highly.
Oh no, oh no.
All right, Mike, that was an amazing moment. I'm going to edit out there was obviously some Democrats playing with the network. A little freeze. I don't know what the last thing you heard was, but I said, wash your hands. And then I kicked it over to you.
This is great. And stay away from the antibacterial soaps. Antibacterial soaps and the Purell and stuff, that kills 99.9% of the germs. And that just leaves the worst things on there. It's like killing all the wolves in the park. Now there's nothing to hunt the deer. And if you can't wash your hands, rub them together. The heat will kill the bacteria. So that's a fun to know bullet point fact. Here's what terrifies me about the coronavirus. We don't know how bad it is. China's not going to let us see how bad that is. And first they were feeding this, it came from this crazy outdoor market in the Hunan province. Well, guess what else they have there? They have their little version of the CDC, the little Center for Disease Control. They're doing some crazy experiments out there. And I saw some thermal images today. Something is burning in the Hunan province. It's almost like they have to burn a lot of, I don't know, dead people. I'm so happy that Trump is in charge because he will shut it down. He will close our borders. This isn't like Ebola when Obama was letting planes go hither and yon. If we have to, we need to shut it down. I'm not playing with coronavirus.
You know, it's interesting. It's like the Chernobyl of microbiology. And you've seen these reports that there have been these patents for the cure 2 years ago, and then they caught several internationalists, doctors, stealing samples of different diseases. So they think that they may have accidentally released this on their people, which is the interesting element. Is there really microbiology warfare taking place? Are the Chinese crazy? My vote is yes. If I'm going to take a worst case scenario, I'm going to apply it to Iran, Russia, and China. I'm going to ride that conspiracy train to safety.
There you go. All right.
Okay. I don't care. I do not think there's anything wrong with that. Okay, moving on. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Bullet point number 3.
After you, Michael.
What's bullet point number 3?
All right, bullet point number 3 as we head here is the Brexit, baby. So this happened we've been tracking this on our whole watch. Finally, the countdown came. Michael Loftus.
Finally. And free at last. Thank goodness gracious, we're free at last. Boris pulled it off. They voted for this almost 3 years ago. They've been waiting. I think they're going to be okay. England has a long and rich tradition of looking out for themselves, and I think they can pull it off. I'm not I don't wake up worried about England. I'm like, oh, what are they eating today? Do they still have food? Do they still have electricity? They'll be fine. Look for some really sweet trade deals between us and England. Congratulations on Brexit.
You might get a cheaper spotted dick now and then, if you shop for your desserts properly. What's interesting about this is 1975. I mean, so if you've ever been to Israel, you have the lines between the Palestinians and the Israelis. And you can see it's been there since the 40s. I mean, it's definitely a mess. This is a 40-year agreement that was passed 52 to 48% in 2016. And then 3 years took out multiple prime ministers. A lot of people were left in the wreckage of this. But
Yeah.
and it's interesting how they're going to handle the Irish question. You know, once again, it comes back to their identity, to their trade, their inclusion. I think they're highly capable of it. But, you know, it's interesting because they made a stand just like we did in the United States of America. I mean, this is the beauty of the Brexit for Americans is we're saying, hey, no illegal aliens. Let's not change our culture. Come to our great melting pot and be part of our melting pot. Not Dearborn, Michigan. I'm just using this because it's an easy target where you have a whole insular Islamic community, and God bless them for being whoever they want to be. But they also have the same issues in parts of England. But they've always been more internationalist than us. They're more tolerant, and they're hitting an edge where they wanted to keep their identity. I think it was fantastic movement.
There's nothing wrong about loving your country. And that's the thing that people don't understand about Donald Trump. People love America, and we don't want to see America diluted and be some borderless, just kind of bleh, you know, pseudo country in North America. And I'm sure England, they love England. And when people go, oh, if you leave the EU, all the power will go out, and we'll descend into madness. And then they watched us elect Donald Trump, and we're thriving. We're not. It's going great, and I'm sure they want what we have. And that's how things are supposed to work. It's a healthy competition. Congratulations, you sexy Brits.
Right on, baby. Shagalicious. You know, I'll end with this, is that I think what we're going to see is Boris is also this big and ebullient conservative like Trump. Maybe conservatism is just the other side of the pendulum. Maybe we go left, maybe we go right. We continue to adjust to freedom. Maybe if we look back in our lives, this isn't some aberration. Trump isn't an aberration. It's a swinging and a correcting and preserving freedom. And this was a great example for the world.
I have to say this, it never swings right. It only gets more and more liberal. We only go closer and closer to socialism. All we can try to do is slow it down. This country has, since we've started, we've only moved left.
Very true, Michael. There's continues, as we said in our last show, 52, this is episode 53, there tends to be a continual war that we have to pay attention, never than before, because people are departed from history. They're departed from a certain rationality. We're not, you know, a lot of young people aren't going to school to study a liberal education in the span of history, and it matters. And so when people carry the torch, they seem old or repressive or conservative. It's just the nature of the country for all these wonderful years, and we have to continue to share that in a way that inspires. And hopefully we're doing that on bullet points. Moving on to bullet point number 4. Boom. It is what I call the Democrat. I kind of stole the title, actually. The Democratic Clowntown Caucuses. So we've started in Iowa. We know what's going on there. We're moving into New Hampshire on Tuesday. I believe you were talking about this on the air, Michael Loftus.
Well, the great big Iowa cock block, where they decided to use Pete Buttigieg to cock block Bernie Sanders. This whole thing, there's so much wrong with the Iowa caucus. I love the idea of it. The process is ridiculous. You sit in a corner by your guy's name, and if he's not a viable candidate, you have less than 15% of the total number of people in the room. And what's the value of X? Listen, put who you want to win on a slip of paper, and then you count them up, and whoever gets the most gets the thing. That's it. It's a joke. They're looking to throw Bernie under the bus. They don't want Bernie to win these things. I think he's going to win big in New Hampshire. And then the other big thing about the caucus that no one's talking about, but yours truly is, the numbers. The numbers. In 2008, everybody was very excited because it was Hillary and Obama, and over 240,000 people, Democrats, came out to be involved in the caucus. You know how many they had this year? 170,000.
Yeah, I heard it was lower. Right.
The number's down. So that whole, we're going to stop Trump and we're fired up. I don't think it's there. Yeah, I heard Biden's rally was really light. Like they were cutting around to make sure that he looked like he had any attendance. You know, what's interesting going back a few episodes was James O'Keefe's Veritas report that if they lost in New Hampshire, there were going to be riots and the radical left was going to burn it down. There was a guy on Gutfield that said a great point. He goes, you know, people are worried about America. He goes, we have a socialist running for president openly, and we have a gay male.
is like, this country's doing pretty well. I mean, talk about the bastion of liberty, right? We have like a white billionaire, a reality show, a socialist, and a gay male. What an amazing country. That's really what we should focus upon. But I have to say, it's pretty exciting as we go into the end, or the beginning of choosing our candidate right now, because I think it's anybody. I feel like it's anybody's game. I think Biden's out.
Who do you think it's going to ultimately be? Who do you think's going to get it?
Look, all my friends who don't want to like their Democratic base want Bloomberg in California. He's become this alternative candidate. I think there might be some kind of switch of rationality going over to Bloomberg. He could be the dark horse. I think he will.
I think they're going to figure out a way to give it to Bloomberg. I might change my answer next week on our next episode, but right now my gut says the Democrats are going to move heaven and earth to figure out a way to give it to Mike Bloomberg.
Yeah, another dark horse. Moving on to promo time, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! So you heard about it a little bit in our celebratory 52 pickup episode after we've been on the air for a year. But Michael, great news. Tomorrow is the this week and ongoing, because you can get it in historically over at Fox Nation. Tell us about your new comedy special coming out.
When we started doing this show, I was on a comedy tour called Freedom to Laugh with my buddy Brian Hayner, my buddy Reno Collier. Every once in a while, Chad Prather will join us for a show or two. We taped a special, and it's being released on Fox Nation. It's the first comedy special for their platform. I'm super happy. It premieres on February the 10th, so you can stream that, get a free trial, or just go ahead and pony up the $2.99 a month. What's wrong with you? Don't you have $3?
And as we said in our prior show, discreet billing. I love that.
Here's what I have for you. Your book. You're getting ready to sell that book that you've been working on. I've been busting your chops for months. What do I have next? I need something else to make fun of you for.
I am. Look, but before you go to my book, I have to say this year, Dave Chappelle was amazing, shifting more to a center right position. Bill Burr, Ricky Gervais started being funny again. Some of the PC layer, and then there you were touring the nation, doing your comedy series across originally the Deplorables, and then the second show was the Freedom to Laugh. So Freedom to Laugh. And I mean, you've just been a big part of this movement. I just want to say, I mean this generally as another American, thanks for going out there with the spear and taking it on the head, buddy, because you're doing a great job. My book, multiple agents, hopefully by the time this airs, we'll have gone ahead and signed the contracts. We have found a unique hole out there. You know, it's America. And in America, I read that Louis L'Amour put it out to 274 people. I can tell you, we almost put it out to twice that. We spent a ton of money researching to find people that were rationalists, professional, and estimable people. We're going to get it done. I'm not going to release the rejections till after we get the book out.
Okay.
But it was entertaining.
Well, Judd, I've got my fingers crossed, and I think if anybody can find a unique hole, you can.
I am so honored. That was some of the highest praise that I've had today. So lastly, we'll be looking for this show to be on the air. Keep coming here every Wednesday. Keep coming here every Saturday for Single Shot. And we're going to go right into our wild card. Michael Loftus, I'll open with this and I'll cut over to you. You know, I've only had a few passionate dreams. And when I was young, when my kids were younger, I watched American Idol. And I've had more Jennifer Lopez dreams than any other woman. I don't know.
Is this another one of your famous unique hole stories?
I'm not in the cat. Perhaps after the book. No, I'm kidding. I'm Judeo-Christian. I'm happily married and a man of fidelity and integrity. But on the inside, I thought Jennifer Lopez, my highlight. I only watched the halftime show. I'm not I don't watch a lot of football anymore. I'd rather play it than watch it. But she looked fantastic. She's like the Kelly Slater of hot chicks. I loved how well preserved she was, and she's stylish. It was great, man. And the show was good. I didn't appreciate the small children in cages because that never really happened. There was actually, if you look at, there was like some younger kids in cages, kind of a subtextual theme about the border. Wow. That's what they're saying on the citizen journalism. But besides that, I thought it was great. Back to you.
It was a fun show. Good for J-Lo, right? She's 50. She's hustling. I didn't like that's Shakira, and that's J-Lo's second outfit. She had a little silver outfit underneath her black leather one. So at one point she's swinging on the pole, and you can see shiny like Reynolds wrap poking out of her underwear, and you're like, what's going on? Is that some kind of space age undergarment? So good for Jennifer
like the 50s,
Lopez.
You wrap yourself in plastic and then you perform. You lose a few pounds, make a few $1,000,000.
Right? The runaway for me, I was all about Shakira. Shakira just sings with a joy in her heart, and the way her hips don't lie. Her breasts are small and humble. They're not big like mountains, if I can quote her own lyrics.
Ah, yes.
But her hips don't lie. It was a great show, and both of those girls did great. I really thought it was going to be a dud. I thought it was going to be a dud, but Shakira brought the heat, and I tell you what, J-Lo, she's looking pretty good at 50, and she was on that pole. Right? So it gives hope. It gives hope to married men across the country.
Yeah.
We can look at our wives and go, hey, J-Lo's 50. She's still on the pole. Why don't you get out there?
Yeah, you're like, get on that Peloton, babe. Right. Get into some white privilege and hop on the Peloton over there. Right. I mean, seriously. No, it's just PC has gone mad. You know what? The passion of football, the battle of the Titans, beautiful women, America, God bless us.
Yeah, absolutely. And Shakira can shake it all night long. She even did one of those little like things. And
what was that?
Normally those terrify me. Normally when I hear that, I'm a butt pucker and like, what's going on? There's an attack. Yeah. But when she does it,
yeah, it's funny. That reminds me of some turkey shoots I had in North Carolina as a kid, but that was before they got so weird with the gun laws. All right, here we are at our time. Michael Loftus, great to have you poured it in through the interweb.
God bless the interwebs.
Take us home. Oh, great.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to tell your friends, hit like, hit subscribe, and hit that little bell button, you guys. That way you'll get a notification when there's a new episode. And we're throwing out like 2 a week.
We'll see you next week. God bless you. God bless America. God bless this great show. Thanks for coming.